Hello everyone, welcome back for one final match in the round of 32. Yet again is I am Azer. One match remaining for Chile and Argentina, and hey, I am joined today again by Will Stetson.
Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to, yes, as he said, the final match versus a very hyped Chile coming in. I think this is probably the most hyped that Chile has been so far in like the history of OWC. Their roster is looking much stronger than usual.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty similar narrative to the match we cast last night. I think it was Indonesia-Mexico, where it's like everybody is talking about Chile this year. I think even themselves are a little bit surprised at how good they're doing. This is like by far the best they have done in qualifiers, and everyone has like really high hopes for them this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like a lot of people know their core players like Intercambing and Mathi have been making waves in the tournament scene, like open rank and community, like for the last year. Everyone is like, especially Mathi, like people have been looking at in like stuff like 1v1 tournaments where he I think beat Emrek in YSC finals or something like that. And that's been just a very good for the Chile optics. But people are still not super aware yet of players such as Gonzah, who has been, at least within community tournaments, very, very hyped over the last couple months. Yeah, so I'm very interested to see how he does.
I think where the credit lies in Chile's success is actually not so much with Intercambing and Mathi, because everybody knows they're good. I think the reason why they're so hyped and the reason why they did so good is they have a team to back those players up now. Every other player on that team is now also a top tier player, right? And yeah. I think to their credit, like a lot of people do not know them yet. They get to show this for the first time to a lot of people. Like not everybody watched or played in a lot of the tournaments that they played in this year, right? So like if you look at people like DanyL, Montenegro, and Gonzah, like just completely popped off and being very underrated. I think it's going to be very interesting to see them play. And of course, they have a lot of returning players as well in xaxreid and number 37, tfge, not their first time around. Of course, we've also got Argentina, who, again, have a little bit of a monumental task ahead of them, but I think this is not the first time these countries meet. I'm pretty sure they've played a couple times already.
Yeah, they have, and Argentina is also, like, no slouch of a team. Like, I know that, like, obviously, the hype is around Chile just because you do have such a crazy roster coming in, but Argentina is very, very good. Like, it is worth noting that Emiru Ikuno is, like, one of the best South American tournament players. SlowBurn as well, and Zeta also showed up very, very well in qualifiers. So like this is like there are many points that can be taken by Argentina in this round. And I think if we are paying attention to what's going on right now, it appears that NoMod 1 and Hidden 2 have both been banned by.
I think it's both Hiddens. Both Hidden. Wait, no, Hidden 1 is
Hidden 1 just got picked.
My mistake.
And yeah, Chile was the people who selected Hidden 1, which is not very surprising. I think that Hidden is like low-key Chile's best skill set, just because No 37 is like very, very consistent at all types of Hidden. Like he's just like, if people know Ryunata, he's very similar to that, but just in Chile. Very, very good mechanically, very good at reading like low AR, like AR7, even like AR6 stuff is pretty good. He has like the only Hidden FC on Ryusei Gun, I believe, which is a 10-minute AR6 map from 2007. Which is a very, very cool score. tfge also used to be pretty known for his hidden skill, and then we have Gonzah and Intercambing, who are going to be like the most probably watched players in OWC at this point, filling out the roster. And then for Argentina, we have Emiru, Ikuno, 2, SlowBurn, Zeta, and Penguo, all pretty expected. Penguo pretty solid at low AR, also pretty good at tech. And this is a bit of a like, this isn't like just a standard aim map, so it's kind of expected to see him come in here. Very interested to see how he does on this. I think we're going to be getting into this pretty soon right here.
Yeah, Argentina, I think, are going to be looking to play around SlowBurn and Zeta, who were their two best performing players in qualifiers. I think notably around anything that can be considered mechanics, so a lot of DT, NoMod 2, I think they had a really good score on. And it's probably their best bet because Chile doesn't shine in those elements. Like they're very good at them, but in terms of what you consider them strong at, and especially if you look at like some of their qualifier scores, they got top 3 scores on all of the hard rocks, on Hidden 2, which was banned, right? So I would expect Chile to go a little bit for those, so I'm expecting both of the hard rocks to come out from them, considering their scores were pretty crazy on them. And I think Argentina are going to look to pick more towards the DTs for this match.
Yeah, I was honestly very surprised to not see Chile ban NoMod 2 here, but I think it's probably just because NoMod 1 is such an RNG map at stage so low. Like, if you lose focus for even a second, like, you can just have your score.
Yeah,
So,
NoMod 1, whenever you're the favorite team, NoMod 1 is always a strong ban because it is typically the map that has the most random elements to it, right? You can just miss once randomly. Like, the map is just built like that, and now suddenly you have 400k less score. So, like,
yeah.
it just works that way. It's easily the most random pick, so if they want to just play to their strengths and eliminate a little bit of that randomness, banning NoMod 1 is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, we are getting into this map now, though, and Note 37 does have a very, very early break on the given pick. I think this is probably just like, you know, the first match nerves coming out a little bit. He is shaking a tiny bit. But right now, Argentina looking very, very good at the early part of this map. 2 SSs still being held. Penguo still at 99.
I'm looking at this real quick. So this match technically is Zeta's first OWC map being played. Obviously ignoring qualifiers. That's a debut for him, as well as Gonzah on the other side. This is his very first map being played, and both of them have been pretty good so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, both holding a 99.67 and SS, respectively. Penguo did get a miss, but it was matched by tfge very closely behind. And Intercambing misses on nothing. That is going to be actually really bad. We are already halfway through the map at this point, and Argentina is just going to start to run away with this with their 3 FCs still intact. Even though SlowBurn does drop, they still have a 2-way FC. Zeta still holding 99. Emiru, Ikuno 2 not too far behind, but this is still winnable for Chile if we see a break from either Emiru, Ikuno 2, there it goes. Penguo now dropping as well.
That
Chile
pattern has gotten so many people, and we're at the hardest part of the map here, so we're expecting a couple more. There we go.
Yeah, and Zeta drops his last FC. Now with Gonzah still FCing. There we go. His debut. His debut. This is his debut run. He's still holding the only FC for Chile. Let's see how far he can run this.
Yeah, I think they definitely needed this as well. This map has been a little bit of lots of misses in unexpected places from people you wouldn't really expect. So Gonzah doing good here is definitely much needed for Chile, especially if it's your first pick. Like you cannot mess this up. Like, it's your first pick. It determines like the pace of the match, right? So
yeah, I've said this before. This map is very unforgiving. It's really like not, the star rating is not accurate. I would say this is at least like a low 6 star in terms of aim. Gonzah does finally drop his FC, but it doesn't matter. He did enough work to bring back the score lead. They are going to be winning this by about 500k. It looks like 600k. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, and again, Chile doing pretty good as well. Intercambing tfge coming back from those early misses, still getting some really respectable 700ks on this.
Yeah, that's by all means a pretty good team performance from Chile, even though we did see a couple of early misses. Argentina just not able to keep up on this one specifically, but the team scores were very consistent, which is nice to see. Nothing super like stand out of like a bad performance. So
it looked pretty promising for Argentina for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that that is indicative of like what may happen in the coming maps, and also worth noting that was Chile's pick. So Argentina can now respond with something of their own.
Yeah, so we're looking at, I think NoMod 2 here is good. I think any of the 3 DTs is pretty good for them. I don't think they want to go for any of the free mods. I would expect Chile maybe to go for them. And maybe we've seen a couple teams pick free mod 1, especially the lower seeded teams. It is one of the easier maps in the pool, if not the easiest map in the pool. So it offers them a little bit more of a fighting chance. But if they want to play to their strengths, I think the play here is definitely going to be NoMod 2. Maybe they want to keep that one for later, but I would say it's easily their strongest map in this match.
I do agree. I hope they don't overthink this too much and pick free mod 1 just because it is the most similar to NoMod 1, which Chile did ban. But we could see that. I don't think that free mod 1 would be like a completely unexpected pick, even though I don't think it's the optimal one. Yeah, I do agree that NoMod 2 is probably their best bet here, but they're probably thinking about it. I'm not sure what they're gonna go with.
Well, they're taking their time. It's pretty early on, right? So something. Oh, it is DT2. All right.
Yeah, that was like one of the other ones.
I was gonna say one thing that's kind of common is your first pick always has some nerves attached to it. I think most players will agree that the very first match, the very first map that they play, I guess technically the second one as well, like the own team's first pick is always like the one that people are most nervous on, have the most expectations on. So if they have a strong pick, sometimes it can be smart to delay it so that you're more comfortable by the time you play the pick, right? So
yeah, that's very true. All right. Well, I think they're going to be swapping some rosters around really quickly. We do see Mathi come in pretty much immediately in favor of No37, which does make sense. No30, he's not very proficient at stuff that isn't hidden, but Mathi, you know, just I think the star player of Chile at this point makes sense for him to come in. And then we have Montenegro coming in as well for tfge. I don't really recognize Montenegro, so I'm interested to see how he does on this.
He's specifically a speed player that's kind of popped out of nowhere recently, so very excited to see how he does. He did really good in the qualifiers runs for them. They played Intercambing, Mathi, DanyL, and Montenegro for the most part. Gonzah did play a little bit. He played the DT2 in qualifiers, which this map is quite similar to. Of course, it's the same slot, so... And he almost top scored. He got a 99 FC on that one, so no stranger to this type of map. On the Argentinian side, I think SlowBurn, Penguo, and Zeta are probably going to be their staple for DTs. Lexalia is, I think, supposed to be pretty good at DT, but did not really play any of the DTs in the qualifiers. They played Richo instead, so...
Right. I think that Richo, he's a bit newer to tournaments, so that it makes sense to put Lexalia in favor, at least on paper. But we are going to see what happens. In the early stages of the map, it looks like everyone is holding pretty well. No breaks just yet. And Mathi's still holding an SS, about a quarter of the way in. Don't know how long that will last, but still impressive holding it. Yeah.
He's gonna do it. He's doing it now. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, scores are looking pretty even so far. No one below 98.8 on the side of Argentina, and no one below 98.5 on Chile. Everyone actually looks really comfortable almost in the entire lobby. That act difference is the only reason that Argentina is winning. Intercambing just slightly lower than that of SlowBurn, but now with SlowBurn's slight act drop, that is going to be matched. They are like neck and neck here, approaching the halfway point.
Yeah, when a map is at this state, it's always very nerve-wracking to watch because any single mistake from anyone essentially just shapes the entire map, right? We're halfway in now. You can't miss here, right? You just cannot. Like everyone has so much combo that if you just drop any of it, it's just so impactful. So right now, it's all about act, and Argentina's winning it a little bit, but it just changed.
It's like a 10k. Yeah, it's like a 10k point difference, and on DT, that's more like a 6k point difference when you're like taking into account the multiplier. So as soon as someone misses, the score lead is just going to explode. However,
looks like Mathi also did get 1 or 200s. My bad, guys. The script is broken.
Unlucky. And Zeta also drops his FC. I did not notice that. And Lexalia falls slow, very closely behind. Chile still with a 4-way FC. They are just going to run away with this. And Penguo dropping his FC as well. Oh god,
this is now collapse at the end.
Yeah, I think the nerves just really kicked in for everyone at about the same time. SlowBurn drops his FC too. That is going to be it. Chile still holding 3 strong. Gonzah, Intercambing, and Mathi all looking very, very strong. Montenegro is a bit newer, so it's expected that he got a little bit nervous at the end, but still putting out about 840k by the end of this. I think a little higher, actually. But yeah, very, very respectable team performance from Chile. This is going to be a 2-0 and a break point.
Yeah, this was a solid effort for them, honestly. The score gap is insanely high, but honestly... not that big of a difference here. Just a couple of misses. I think Penguo missed twice, but it's really just only like that one or two of the sections on the side of Argentina that like made up all that score difference, right? So especially with DT, like with the score multiplier, it just like snowballs to such a ridiculous amount. So you look at this and you're like, wow, it's this 1 million score difference, but realistically, it's just a few misses that made it so one-sided. This was still pretty close. I think it's still a good showing for Argentina, but unfortunately not going to win their first pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is just unfortunately like a group stage moment. It's like it's very, very close until it is not close at all once the nerves kick in. Like that's even though the score difference is so high, I don't think it's a testament to how like not consistent Argentina is. It's just a testament to like how prepared Chile is for a matchup of this caliber.
All right, let's see some hard rock here. I think from Chile. I think that's what they're looking at.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad pick. But they go with DT1.
I mean, that's also a pretty good pick. They do have pretty respectable DT players, and I mean, that map went exceedingly well for them, so why not just keep going for that?
Yeah, I do think it's just a little surprising considering this is the A map. They did ban NoMod 1, and Argentina is showing to be very proficient at mechanics, just maybe not as consistent as Chile. So it's like not a bad pick, but I just think it's surprising to see them pick an A map after banning one. probably not a bad pick though. It's Intercambing actually going to be coming out of the lobby for Chile, and DanyL making his first appearance this year.
DanyL has been such a strong part of this team as well, so pretty excited to see him in for this.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know him for his solo play, especially a few years ago. He used to be very, very strong in like the more like farmy like aim stuff. But he has, over the last year, really rounded himself out. He is now a force to be contended within these tournaments. We do see Richo coming in for Argentina as well, going to be his first appearance as well. SlowBurn and Emiru Ikuno 2 going to be staying in, and I'm not sure who we're going to put in for Argentina's fourth. I think we can probably expect to see like Zeta or Emiru Ikuno 1. But we will see. Yeah, the OG Emiru Ikuno. Oh, but we do see Penguo coming back in, actually. I'm surprised we haven't seen Emiru Ikuno in yet. And we actually do see Intercambing coming in as well for Chile.
I don't think the maps that have been picked so far aren't really playing to Emiru Ikuno's strengths. That's probably why. I think once we stop seeing DTs, he's probably going to be coming in. He hasn't really been playing any of them, right? So.
Yeah, no, he is not. He's not notably DT player. He's a better aim player, very, very consistent on stuff like NoMod 1, but unfortunately that is banned, so I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing him very much during this match.
I think one interesting part of this is usually DT1 is going to be the highest average score in a round this early, but I think that in this particular pool, this map is actually quite hard to combo. We've seen a lot of much lower scores, even though it's pretty comfortable for a lot of players. I think just like the increased difficulty in relation to the rest of the pool here makes this a pretty strong pick for Chile. They're always looking for things that are higher skill cap so that they can abuse some of their stronger players, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is something that Intercambing just absolutely eats alive, as we can see from his current SS. However, the team accuracy of Chile is just a little bit lower than Argentina's, which is why they do currently hold the score lead. This is exactly what just happened on DT2. So hopefully their accuracy does not, sort of engage the nerves a bit too early.
Yeah, you really have to respect that from Argentina, though. Ooh, they collapsed a little bit.
Yeah, that is a bad double break.
Even the last map, like you look at their team accuracy, they were holding the lead the whole time, and it's not like Chile was having any bad accuracy. Like everyone's holding 99 on this.
And Mathi misses on nothing. That is not good for Chile. He needs to be backed up by the rest of his team here. And Intercambing misses too, but Richo matches him. That is another FC gone, and is now just Penguo holding the SS halfway through.
These are very weird misses from Chile.
Yeah, I don't really get this. However, it just doesn't matter because they do still have the combo advantage. And Penguo drops his FC. That is going to be... It's not nail in the coffin status yet. We could see breaks from Montenegro and DanyL, but it is getting to that point with Mathi and Intercambing recovering. Especially with that double break from Argentina, Richo and Penguo. That is not going to help out the cause. We're now looking at 400k and growing. Richo keeps missing. That is not going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is the skill cap coming in, right? Like, some of the jumps on this are actually quite difficult for teams that are more accustomed to playing some earlier rounds. I think that this is where the experience of playing later rounds really comes in, right? So DanyL, very high skill cap. You said his solo scores have been very good, and Montenegro, we're not too familiar with him, but this is kind of the things he does, right? So, like, anything that's like super high mechanics, a lot of speed. This doesn't really have any speed, but yeah, I mean, they're coming in pretty big for this one. Mathi and Intercambing as well kind of recovered pretty well. It looks like they were pretty close to SSs as well, just like with one unfortunate miss.
Yeah, this is definitely a very impressive score from Chile. Even with those misses, like they're putting up almost 3.9 mil. Like that is nothing to scoff at by any means. Argentina just not able to hold up on the I think the higher mechanics aim stuff.
I think Intercambing with 400s. Actually, Penguo with 200s as well. That's 200.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Breaks, man. That is super respectable. That's kind of scary, actually. The potential is crazy there.
Yeah, very respectable, but just very unlucky. That consistency is so important in these early rounds, and I'm not sure that Argentina has the consistency to match up with Chile.
All right, Argentina, DT's not been working. This is where you pull out the NoMod too.
I agree. I hope that I hope they're listening. But we're gonna see. Yeah, no hidden to abuse. No. Yeah, I think they just have to go with either NoMod 2 or NoMod 5, right? Like even NoMod 5 is a risky one, but I would go NoMod 2.
And I don't think they should be going for anything in the free mods. I'm pretty sure that just the mod players on Chile are just gonna run away with it. Like some of their players are pretty insane, and they do go for Hard Rock 2. That is,
I don't get this one.
Very questionable. Chile had the second highest Hard Rock 2 qualifier score, right behind South Korea, and Argentina's pretty far down on that list. So I'm questioning this one a little bit, but
yeah, I really don't understand this one. It is 5.5 stars. It's not like a crazy difficult. Actually, no, it's not 5. That's the base rating. My bad. But it's still like it's a bit easier than qualifiers, and notably Amuro very good at Hard Rock. So he could be their carry here if Chile proves to not be as consistent as we think they might be. But this is still, like, on paper, I really don't get this pick.
Yeah, and this does play pretty similarly to that one in qualifiers as well, so it is very close in mapping style. It's just a little bit slower, really.
Yeah, it's also so difficult because CS 6.5, it is very important to be consistent on this, and right now it's looking like Chile is just putting up, like, pretty ridiculous team scores in general. I don't think that they've been missing on very, like... it's not been like focus misses for a lot of their team, with the exception of that like just DT2 showing from Mathi Intercambing. But
I would expect xaxreid to come in, but he's not.
Yeah, I don't get this. I don't understand. You like Penguo is not. Oh well, as I said it. Oh, and there's Emiru Ikuno, his first appearance. This does make sense to put him in here, but I do agree with you that I don't understand why we're not seeing xaxreid.
I mean, Gonzah's been doing pretty well. Maybe it's just an extra player they have. Maybe they want to give him a little bit more experience, because xaxreid has plenty of that. I think this is his like 6th World Cup or something, 5th World Cup.
Yeah, something like that. He's a veteran.
Year.
Yeah, he has been around for a very long time. However, I mean, like this roster from Chile is just looking very scary, though. Like you said, like they're technically they're 3-star players: Intercambing, Mathi, DanyL coming in, and then Gonzah, who just like pulled out one of the best scorers of his team. Like, I don't think that this is at all a bad roster.
Mm-hmm.
But this map is pretty short, so misses do matter quite a lot here. But everyone is looking pretty comfortable in the very early parts of this. 3SS is still being held by Argentina and none for Chile, so as expected. Oh goodness, we just see 3 breaks. DanyL, Emiru, Ikuno, and Amuro all breaking. That is not a good sign of things to come. Amuro breaking yet again. Chile going to be taking a very early, about 40,000 point lead. Gonzah dropping 2 though. They're going to sway this back, except it's not because Amuro and Emiru Ikuno also missing. This map seems very, this seems very misleading.
It's very punishing.
Yeah.
It's very punishing. A lot of the patterns are very unassuming. They look a little bit innocent, but it's just 6.5. It's gonna get you.
Yeah, we're already halfway through, and Chile is winning by about 50. Oh, Gonzah drops his FC though, so there's only 1 FC remaining for Chile. But now Lexalia dropping his FC too is going to keep this pretty even.
Okay.
And then Amuro dropping again. That is really not going to help things out. But this is very close halfway through. If we see like any break from like Intercambing or even DanyL, like this is going to go pretty much immediately back in the favor of Argentina, provided that we don't see any more breaks.
We have seen a lot of breaks, like pretty random breaks from Intercambing here, so I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, and as you say it, Intercambing dropping his score. Emiru Ikuno still holding it. Emiru Ikuno 2 still holding his FC.
It's all on him though. There's just no combos here, and DanyL's recovered pretty well, so Chile gets to keep the lead, and it's gone.
Yeah, his. Are you seeing his shake?
He needed that. Yeah.
Are you seeing his shake? He is. Oh my God, Emiru Ikuno and Amuro are still dropping. This is a disaster for Argentina. This is a grave mispick. I think if we're looking at DanyL, like he is absolutely destroying this map currently. That early break just proving to not matter at all.
I don't know. Maybe on paper this was really bad, but honestly, they're again. I think a lot of the maps in here they look like they're pretty close until they just aren't.
Yeah,
like, they're just missing like the last like half of every map. They just like fall apart. You know, it's a little bit unfortunate. Like they definitely have it there, just need a little bit more consistency. But I mean, Emiru, Ikuno too, like did pretty good until that miss. He had really high accuracy as well the whole time.
Yeah,
not enough though.
Yeah, this one is just kind of unfortunate for Team Argentina. Chile just proving to be too strong. Intercambing also with that S rank, very impressive.
I was a little bit worried, honestly. Even Gonzah missed a bunch there too. I was really expecting xaxreid to come in here because even on all of their qualifiers runs, xaxreid did just not miss on Hard Rock. So
he may not be here.
It's possible. He hasn't played so far, so that's a possibility.
But yeah, that is going to be 4-0 for Chile. Things are starting to look pretty grim for Argentina, but it is their pick. So I think that this... Oh, wait, no, it is not their pick.
I believe it is Chile's pick, yeah.
Yeah, so... I wonder what they pick here. I'm not sure.
They're gonna go for Hard Rock 1. They copied the DT, now they're copying the Hard Rock.
I see.
I'm wrong. It's NoMod 5.
NoMod 5. Yeah, that's... I get it, but at the same time, like, Argentina is, like, really good at these, like, not as aimy, like, very mechanical maps. Even though this is a pretty awkward NoMod 5 for NoMod 5's sake, this is still, like, I think a bit more in contention than people may think.
I think this is a pretty good pick, honestly. You slap... What are they going to do? Intercambing, Mathi, Gonzah, Montenegro probably on this?
Yeah, presumably. I don't think we'll be seeing DanyL and something like this.
I think they just play this type of map like super well.
Yeah, that is very true. However, Zeta's been showing up, so I think that he could also do pretty well on this. Emiru Ikuno too also has been putting up pretty consistently like the higher end scores for Argentina. So not exactly a bad roster to go into this with.
I think the difference on this map is, as you said, it is mapped in a little bit of an uncommon fashion. I think there are a lot of things that are not the speed elements of the map that are going to catch people. And when you look at the Chile's roster, I think they have 4 people that are, I think, way more accustomed to those things. And when you just compare the roster, just looking at names and stuff, like I think Chile on paper is a lot more comfortable on this. Again, not just the speed element of this. This does have 240 bursts, but that's not the hard part in this map for a lot of the people playing this.
Yeah, I think that Mathi particularly is actually like pretty good at like awkward aim type of stuff. So I think we can probably expect to see an FC from him. And then Gonzah's just been playing very well, so he can probably match him. He's not a slow player by any means. But I think we're gonna see here. JLHF's coming out. We are going to get started.
And Argentina really need to get something on the board here. Could be their last map for today. Yeah,
they did put Richo in for their final player. Not a bad decision. Pretty good at DT. And this is like, it's not DT, but decently mechanical. I just wonder how he's going to hold up on the aimier sections of this map. Very slow section to begin the map. Looking around to see if there's any early shake, but I don't think that anyone is looking too nervous at the beginning of this. Montenegro with a very early drop, very similar to what happened to Arison in the earlier match. Just, I think, fell a bit behind on there, so Argentina is going to take a very early lead on this pick.
Again, that's what catches people, man. It's not the speed, it's just the slight over-aim on like a really short slider. Takes you off guard at the very beginning, but it's early enough that I don't think it should matter too much. Argentina does just have a pretty comfy lead for now, though.
Yeah, winning by almost 100k halfway through the map, that is looking pretty good. We need to not see them fall apart here, though, because this is what has happened. Argentina syndrome, and they do lose one of their FCs. Now, Chile, with the combo advantage, Montenegro has recovered quite nicely.
That was one painful.
Yeah, that was just super unlucky for Emiru Ikuno, too. But we've been seeing some random misses from Chile, too. So even though they do have the combo lead, it's very, very slow coming back over to them. Let's see if we see any more misses. Combo lead has, or score lead has now switched to Chile. Shake's probably going to start to come out here. Oh, and Lexalia breaking his FC. That is so bad for Argentina.
It's probably the hardest part of the map as well here, so...
Yeah, I know, it's expected, but this is still, like, Chile is just absolutely exploding right now. They have, all, like, not a four-way, but pretty close. Emiru dropping again. Now a 400k lead. I think that is going to be it for Team Argentina. Chile going to be taking this 5-0.
And that is actually up with... Mathi! Oh! Come on! Oh, with the Mathi SS.
Oh, it's an SS.
Oh
just
God.
ignore it. It's client.
Mathi, please.
It doesn't even matter. What an impressive team score from Chile. Like 3.8 million on this map is very, very impressive. Argentina just unfortunately not able to keep up. Zeta does FC, but Emiru, Ikuno, and Lexalia just not able to keep the combos far enough. But a very well fought match from Argentina. I do not think that this was like, yeah, it says 5-0, but like these maps were not very close. We're not very like, you know, they were all contested.
They really were, especially like up until a certain point in the map. I think this is where like the experience comes in and makes a difference, because Argentina for like the first half of every map was putting up a real fight and often having accuracy leads and stuff. They just not able to hold it together for the full duration, right? And that's where Chile comes in, and they are able to do that. They've been they've been practicing this kind of stuff so much this year. A lot of them have been super active in community tournaments. Like we say this a lot, but that's because it does make that difference, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Nerve control. If you don't play a ton of community tournaments, that is just like the only place that you can learn that type of skill. So if you're a bit newer, like it is very difficult to compete in that regard. But yeah, that is going to be it. Chile going to be taking the 5-0 victory. They are going to be moving on to round of 16, where they face... I am not sure. I need to check.
Yeah, we actually have a little bit of time here. So we do have the Mappol showcase coming up, but we need a little bit of time to set things up. So you know what? Why don't we actually just take a look at the bracket?
Sure.
And take a look at some of these matches. Because this is it, right? This is all of this is all of round of 32 has just been played. We're done and wrapped up now. We have every matchup. Of course, it's round of 32, so there's a losers bracket as well. But here we go. So here's the bracket. We can take a look at this. Not too many upsets, I would say. A couple of the matches were really close, but I think in terms of upsets, you're probably looking at Finland, France being the biggest one.
Yeah, that one is just I couldn't even believe it when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And yeah, also worth noting that Spain was able to take 2 points off of Canada. I think that was not expected for a lot of people, especially for Canada's second place seeding.
Not at all. I mean, Canada has been a little bit of a... Nobody really knows their power level, I would say. Not even myself.
I don't think Canada knows their power level.
Yeah, it's very hard to pin them down. We were underrating them a little bit, and then they come into qualifiers and they say, no, we're really good. But then they drop 2 points to Spain. To Spain's credit, they did play very well. I think most interesting in that side of the bracket, though, is the fact that Taiwan-Romania happened, which was a very close match and was very... probably I would say the best match of this round in terms of how close it was and how, like the expectations that went into this match. But I think most notably, this is like in terms of round of 16 matchups, I think Canada-Taiwan, this is like the 4th time they get that, and the 3 previous times that went to a tiebreaker which favored Canada. So watch that match. It has a tiebreaker. It's in the script. I swear to God.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is very, very possible that we see that. We have some just absolutely brutal round of 16 matches as well, though. Like we have like USA Brazil round of 16. You have, like you said, Canada Taiwan.
Okay, okay, guys. Germany Australia is a round of 16 match.
Germany Australia.
Let's that sink in for a moment. Germany Australia is a round of 16 match. Make sure you're there for that, because that's going to be pretty hype. But I think a lot of the matchups are already in the winners bracket. A lot of the matchups are very, very, very high level. You're looking at elsewhere in the bracket as well. You've got United Kingdom versus South Korea, which is insane. Very evenly matched teams as well. Seed 8 versus seed number 9. And now, as a result of this match, you've also got Chile and Russia, which I mean, Russia, we've been talking about Chile a lot, especially since they just played, but I mean, Russia's kind of just always quietly been there, having a lot of potential, but not always realizing it. I think we're always just kind of waiting for the moment they pop off, you know, like this could be the year, we don't really know.
Yeah, even with the loss of Skrull earlier this year, like they still have an incredibly strong 8-man roster. They did 5-0 their match, I think it was yesterday. So I think that they will put up a very, very good fight in the round of 16. But we're just gonna have to see. As you said, they do tend to choke in like quarterfinals thereabout, and they do go out a bit earlier than a lot of people anticipate. However, this could be the year that they look to change that. So we're gonna have to see that next week.
Yeah, and again, there's also a lot of lower bracket matches that we're not really going to get into in the interest of time. But as a reminder, none of the teams are out. They're still playing up to 2 matches in the losers bracket next weekend. So if your favorite country is still in this, make sure you support them.